Good morning, badasses. Coach Joe from the Summit Endurance Academy. Today's topic is the engine and the transmission. I know we've talked about this a few times, but I just wanted to bring us back to the basics. So, and it's important to remember that this analogy of the engine and the transmission is not accurate, but it is super fucking useful. Okay, so we know that the engine and the transmission are not two separate things. Your aerobic system, your energy systems are not separated from the muscle. In fact, your mitochondria are in the muscle, and that is where the bulk of your metabolism happens. So it's not accurate. So don't try to fucking prove me wrong with some science article or some bullshit. But it is super fucking useful when thinking about training. So the engine is what I call kind of the energy systems. It's how we take fuel, and in the case of the aerobic system, oxygen, and turn it into energy to be used by the transmission, which is the muscles. Okay? So we want to think about when we are engine limited, or when the engine is the thing that is holding us back, or when the transmission is the thing that is holding us back. So the engine roughly transfers from sport to sport. If you can breathe hard in one thing, you can breathe hard in another thing, right? Now what's tough is that the transmission, so the sport-specific muscle, is not transferable. So we know that if we want to be fast in a sport, we need to have both a strong engine and a strong transmission. Now the tough part with especially being mountain athletes, if you skimo in the winter and you run or bike in the summer, is that every season our engine gets stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger, and our transmission gets stronger, and then we switch. Bloop, stronger, and then we switch. Stronger, and we switch. So, we need to be cognizant of this. We need to be thinking about this. We need to be thinking about how are we making sure that the transmission is strong enough for our current sport. Because we see a lot of injuries in mountain athletes, especially as we get close to the end or even the middle of a season, is you'll see people who have been running their engine at max speed and just blasting this transmission that is much weaker, because the engine is years old, the transmission is super new and super weak. So one of the other times when we see a mismatch in engine versus transmission is when we go up and down in elevation. So if we go up in elevation, we become engine limited. Our cardiovascular system, our energy systems are not as strong as our muscles as we get higher. As we go lower, if we go down, we tend to be transmission limited. So if I live at 9,000 feet, if I go down, I can breathe all goddamn day. I can breathe so hard, but my muscles simply will not handle the pace. And the reason for that is that when you're low, you have more oxygen, you can move faster. It's less, the energy systems are less limiting, but the muscles are super limiting because you can go that fast. Yeah, so think about the engine and the transmission. What is your weakness, and what does your goal what does your goal event require? Thanks. Have a good day.